which we go through as patrons of that fund, Honorable Speaker. So while we agree with what you are saying, Honorable Speaker, we have our fears. How I wish that either the chair budget or the majority leader, Honorable Speaker, would be able to say where the money can be wired today, before it comes tomorrow. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, KJ.
Honorable Speaker, this matter goes to the heart of a fund that I would describe as the most effective decentralized fund. And it's coming up on a day when we are reading about news of a governor from a neighboring county in whose house 13 million today has been found. And we are being told that NGCDF is a great concern for the country. As a house, the attention should actually be driven to the devolved funds that are going to counties, Mr. Speaker. We are speaking at a time when NGCDF is under attack from very many quarters, Mr. Speaker. And I think it should go on record that this house shall stand its place to defend a fund that is working for the people of Kenya, because when we go to our constituencies, we are seeking to see what these devolved funds that we are putting on division of revenue that are going to the counties are doing, at a time when NGCDF is the only visible fund on the ground. So, Mr. Speaker, as we address these issues and take them up with the Minister of Finance, we must also put on notice all these other quarters that are trailing their guns on NGCDF to tell them that this fund shall be defended by this House. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, thank you for your guidance also that the Minister will be appearing in this House tomorrow. But again, Mr. Speaker, we are so passionately speaking about CDF because it is a very classical and typical example of what real devolution is. If you come to our county, Speaker, it's very easy to see with your naked eyes what CDF has done, but not what other funds are doing. And Mr. Speaker, I want the CS to hear this. Now that you've promised he's coming here tomorrow, he'd rather come here after he's disbursed monies to our accounts and come here with whatever evidence to show that that money has gone there. Failure to which, Mr. Speaker, will hold him hostage here until that is done.
Honorable members. Order, honorable members. Member for Bumula, the minister is coming tomorrow. I'm not giving you a chance to speak. It is your point of order that caused the speaker to invite the minister. And being a diligent young parliamentarian, the right thing to do is to hold your horses. The minister will be here, and you will be the first to ask any question after he finishes his statement, because you are the one who has caused him to come. So we don't have to be pre-debating what we will debate tomorrow. I want to encourage you members that every time CDF has been threatened, yours truly has been on the front line to defend it. And I have been doing so without any fear or favor or prejudice. When there has been delay, I have personally called the Treasury to ensure the disbursement of the money. I will continue doing so. When CDF was under attack by activists who went to court, yours truly here has hired the best lawyers for you. And the caucus of lawyers here led by Otienda Amola and Chepkonga. Now the Supreme Court has ruled and decided that CDF is not in any conflict with devolution. And I'm going to give you a comprehensive ruling on the request of the minority leader, Honorable Junet. So I want to encourage you to believe that in yours truly here you are in safe hands in matters CDF. And I want to ask us to carry on with other business, tomorrow at 3 p.m., all of you be here. The minister will be here. Yes, Farah.
Speaker.
I'm giving you this
Yes.
purely on the basis of your seniority.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you notice what the Honorable KJ has raised, the CDF is only a trigger. We have a serious problem with the devolved funds in the counties in this country. And there is billions and billions, hundreds of billions of Kenya shillings that's going to waste in those places. Mr. Speaker, I am educating 100 students to do medicine in institutions all over the country. My governor cannot give me even 10 students. And he has all the funds there. And the money is getting wasted everywhere. And equalization fund, they have come for equalization, they have come for carer, they're coming for everything, Mr. Speaker. We must save this country from the so-called counties right now in this country. Please, this is the debate the members of parliament are really keen to what you call ventilate on. The other ones, we are fully in agreement and we support you. There's never, you have done more than all of us put together. Thank you.
DK.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We know very well this National Assembly is under attack from all quarters. Yes. First, we have problems with CDF, and we have also problems with RMLF. As we discuss now about CDF, Kera has only released around 17 million out of 62 million, yes. And we have letters flying left, right, and center on what happens to the rest. So I think, basically, we have so many issues that we cannot continue burying our heads in the sand and thinking that things are right. I was proposing that we suspend the House until tomorrow, when the two CSS for roads and for treasury come in, then they can explain what is really happening to the members of parliament. And then, if you look at the devolution, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the devolved funds, out of the total devolved funds that goes to counties, 85% are used for recurrent and administrative purposes, while for CDF, only 5% is used for administrative purposes. So the net effect is that out of the small amount of money like 42 billion or 45 billion or 53 or so, it is being felt. But the 450 billion that is going to counties, only about 50 billion are the ones that go to development. And in that also, the governors will follow to I think we should disband the counties altogether.
You've made your point. Yes, Kainan.
And I want my colleagues to listen to me. Mr. Speaker, I was in this parliament just like you are.
Next to you.
I want my colleagues to listen to this, Mr. Speaker. CDF did not just come out of the blues. CDF was a product of a well-calculated evaluation by the members who are there, Mr. Speaker, who are tired with the manipulations of the executive then, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that even Parliament here was a department of office of the President then. Mr. Speaker, you are also aware our clerk and everybody else was secondees from the directed special branch, Mr. Speaker, and CID and special DOs. Mr. Speaker, what we did was to give members of parliament an effective, workable, people-friendly platform to deliver development to their constituents, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, over the years, we have seen a gradual increment of CDF allocations. What is surprising under this House, and this is what I want to say, Mr. Speaker, 1 month to the end of financial year, you are yet to receive even something commensurate with the first quarter of the financial year. Yet we are here advocating for everything else. Right now, CDF is under threat. And I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, very sincerely for that decision of the Supreme Court. I know, without your input, Without all the brains, legal brains that you have put together, even that judgment will not have been possible. I want to accord on behalf of these members here, as the father of this house, that we thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I haven't said this. There is something that we can't run away from. It is members of parliament who oversight CDF. It is members of parliament who oversight KERA. It's members of parliament. Why have we thrown our mandate to the dustbin? Where is the chairman of CDF? Where is the chairman of road? I want to tell you, members, we have a club of greedy governors, whose only interest is to amass wealth, usurp national roles, and get money. If those are the people today you want to sit here and empower, I will tell you, this house is going to be the worst house in the history of this country. I want you to stand up for your right, resist. The Minister for Transport must come and ensure that the remaining allocation of CDF, of roads, is sent. The chairman, NCDF, through the minister, must also release. I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, you are a lawyer. You were here when we fought for the current constitution. Some of us who come from regions that have been disadvantaged over the years, through skewed administrative practices, Mr. Speaker, fought for equalization. Equalization right now is not working, courtesy of these greedy governors, Mr. Speaker. They have gone to court, they have stopped it, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask as leadership, let us suspend everything else, members. Yes. Let us suspend everything else until the question of KERA, Kura, let's adjourn, CDF is sorted out. No more business. No more business. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Chikati.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, from what my colleagues DK and Kainan have presented, and given the mood of the House, I kindly request you, Mr. Speaker, to direct the suspension of the proceedings until tomorrow, Speaker.
Order.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes.
Order. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable members, order. Take your seats. Take your seats. Honorable members, take your seats. Take your seats. There's no matter before the House to put the question. Honorable members, I want to encourage you. This is your house. And you are the nerve center of everything in this country. You appropriate, you oversight, you legislate, you represent. You have the power in your hands. And I want to encourage you that it will be a very unwise decision to do what some of us are asking to do. For the simple reason, order, honorable members. I am your speaker, you elected me. And I have a duty to lead you and advise you. Is that Kimilo or Mwalio, who is looking very agitated? Kimilo, unajua kuna kitabu kiliandikwa na Mwalimu Nyerere. Fisi alikuwa anakunywa maji kwa mto, na kondoo pia alikuwa anakunywa maji kwa huo mto. Fisi alikuwa anakunywa kule maji natoka, kondoo chini kwenye maji naenda. Alafu fisi akauliza kondoo, mbona unanichafulia maji? Kondoo akasema, maji natoka kwako inakuja kwangu, nimeichafua namna gani? Akasema, kama hujachafua, kwa nini ulinitusi mwaka uliopita? Kondoo akasema, mzee, mwaka uliopita nilikuwa sijazaliwa. Nilizaliwa juzi. Akasema kama si wewe ni baba yako ndiye alinitusi. Haja yake ilikuwa ni kumshika amule. Mwenye atakaye kufanya jambo lenye halifai hahitaji sababu. Anaitwa hasidi. Hakuna mahasidi kwa hii bunge. You are all honorable members of parliament. And I want to encourage you again, members of the House Business Committee, the minority leader, the majority leader, they know what we have been doing to fight for CDF. They know how much resistance we have put against your detractors. And for the record, members, I have been in this house before CDF, during CDF. And I don't want to talk about after CDF because there will be no after CDF. Because CDF is here to stay. And it will always be there. It is very easy. In one of the parliaments where we were with Farah and Kainan, we had 3 members in this house. One called John Koech, another one called Jimmy Angwenyi, and the third one was, who was the third one, Kainan? No, Logo was much earlier. They used on behalf of this house, and they were holding no positions, to walk to the treasury and frog-march the minister to this house to tell you as members about CDF. It is an extremely cowardly act for members of parliament with all the powers under the constitution in your hands to boycott your work. It will be a very cowardly act, I can assure you, because as a house, you have impeached a minister, you have impeached a deputy president, you have powers in your hands. How do you run away from your own house? This is the big question. So I want to ask you, give the House an opportunity tomorrow to listen to a response to a very noble point of order raised by the member for Bumula. And it is only tomorrow, not the next day, not Thursday, not Friday, tomorrow at 2:30. If you agree with your speaker, we go on with the business. If you don't agree, those of you who are not keen to carry on with business, don't disrupt the house. Let those who want to have business go on with business. But as I finish, let me now give the majority leader an opportunity to tell us about the issue of the CDF.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as you rightly say, is a matter that we discussed even within the House Business Committee, because as a member for Bumula said last week in his point of order, CDF is not money going to these members of parliament. And these members of parliament are elected by their people to come and represent them in this house. And part of that representation is to advocate for resources that will go, especially to vulnerable children, who up to today, there are some constituencies where children are yet to get funding for bursaries, Honorable Speaker. And it is also not lost on many people in the country that with the advisory by the Comptroller of Budget on bursaries from county governments going to our vulnerable children, it is only NGCDF that is left now to help these children. And many people, especially those who are college-going students, Honorable Speaker, are waiting for these bursaries. And the best that we can do as a house is to hold the cabinet secretary and the principal secretaries to account as to why they cannot disburse NGCDF in time. Honorable Speaker, previously, and this is a commitment that we got from the National Treasury, that before the end of the financial year, which has only 2 months to go, they will have disbursed all the money that should be going to NGCDF. Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with you then. It is only less than 24 hours for the cabinet secretary to appear before the House. And I want to encourage members, because most Wednesdays, We are not usually very many when CSs are here to answer questions. This is a time to hold the cabinet secretary to account for his words, because it is him who committed that we will get disbursements every month to ensure that by the end of June, we have all our money disbursed. Therefore, whatever magic he will do between now and the 30th of June, 100% of NGCDF must be disbursed, Honorable Speaker. And tomorrow, if John Buddy is listening to this, he has sat where we are sitting. He knows what NGCDF is to the people of Kenya. And let me repeat, Honorable Speaker, what NGCDF is to the people of Kenya, not to members of parliament. These members of parliament will still earn their salaries, will still go about their representation and oversight work without NGCDF. But NGCDF means a lot to the people of Kenya. There are places where children will not go to school, not just about bursaries, Honorable Speaker. I have seen the national government now priding itself in having built over 14,000 classrooms over the last 1 year. But the amount of classrooms that NGCDF does around the country in a year is probably triple that number. And it is only through NGCDF that children access school, that some communities have security through the construction of police posts and police stations, Honorable Speaker. And we are lifting off a very huge burden through NGCDF from the national government. And therefore, the CS, National Treasury, has no choice. Tomorrow, he must come prepared. If not with his words, he must come prepared with his checkbook. Tomorrow, it is pesa, pesa, and pesa to NGCDF. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Junet, order, honorable members. Order, Wario. Those children up there are watching you and you are a leader. Order.
Mr. Speaker, first I want to appreciate the guidance you've given to the House. Mr. Speaker, this CDF fund has a lot of enemies, Mr. Speaker, for no apparent reason. There are many people who are fighting the CDF because they don't have, I think, the right information about CDF. Mr. Speaker, the county governments and devolution has been in existence in this country now for the last 10 years. It is, I think, imperative now for Kenyans to take stock of what has happened through devolution from inception, Mr. Speaker, from 2013 up to now. Because, Mr. Speaker, CDF funds has the least administrative expenditure, Mr. Speaker, unlike counties where they spend all their monies in recurrent expenditure. Mr. Speaker, this is one fund that goes directly to schools, directly to people, to children who want to study, to homes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, in education matters, counties only deal with ECDs. From primary education to secondary education, it is done by the national government, and that is where CDF really helps the people. Mr. Speaker, tomorrow, there is no shorter day than a day, Mr. Speaker. There is no shorter time than a day. Now we have said that tomorrow the minister must appear here in person. I want to urge the House that we will make our final decision tomorrow, God willing. Because today, I can see, I've checked the order paper, Mr. Speaker, there are some serious issues that we need to deal with. Mr. Speaker, today is, let me tell you something. Let us not also play into the hands of our enemies, Mr. Speaker. Our enemies have said time and again that we are people who just think about, they don't see that we are helping Kenyans. They don't see that this CDF is for Kenyans. No member of parliament benefits from CDF in any way, Mr. Speaker. This is money that builds schools, I've said. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to plead that let's give this minister tomorrow a chance Let him come here. Let him tell us what plans he has for us. Let him come with the money. Mr. Speaker, for now, even if we suspend the business of the House, we will wait for tomorrow still for him to appear here. He will not be coming here today. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge Honorable Kimilu that I know the people of Makueni are suffering, but they might be suffering at the county level, not because of the CDF. So can we wait until tomorrow so that we deal with this issue perpendicularly? For today, we have some issues on the order paper, this anti-money laundering business, because, Mr. Speaker, our country has been grey-listed. This bill is going to help our country not to be grey-listed, Mr. Speaker. So with these few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I really concur with your guidance that we continue with the business of the House, and tomorrow we listen to the Minister for Finance.
Order, members. Members, order. Those on your feet, take your seats. DK, take your seat. Members, if it is the message, it has been heard loud and clear. That members of this House are not happy, one, with a continued assault on CDF. Members are not happy with the delays in disbursement of CDF, and members are demanding answers on why these delays are there, and that you want an assurance that these delays, Ngusia, you say again and I'll send you out. I think you are taking advantage of the fact that you are my friend, we meet in the gym. That should not be extended to this floor. You have made it clear, and everybody knows, honorable members, when CDF started, as Member of Parliament for now Serisia and Kabuchai constituencies, my first disbursement was 6.2 million. It grew to 12 million the following year. The third year, it grew to 23 million. The fourth year, it grew to 42 million. And it has grown gradually through your efforts and the goodwill of the Kenyans who benefit from CDF to where it is. I can say without any fear of contradiction that you go to any county, it is much easier to see what CDF has done than what devolution has done. And this, I've said it over and over, and you all know that if you go to your constituencies, you can count the health facilities you build, the schools you build, the children in schools, police stations, administration centers. And today we have even been saying in the House Business Committee that I want to call a Kamkunji to encourage you. You saw yesterday in the media that more Kenyans are being killed on border rides than on vehicles, accidents. I have told the House Business Committee to embark on having a situation where, even if it means additional resources for you to go out there and sit and talk to our young people on border, to observe traffic rules, bore a leaf from what we see in Rwanda. A motorbike carries 2 people, you must have helmets. You've seen motorbikes, border carrying, not just ordinary people carrying 4 policemen, people who are supposed to enforce the law. I've seen 4 policemen sitting on one border. The rider is sitting on the petrol tank and looking like he's in a toilet. We have to bring order. And you can use CDF to do this, to educate the public. So instead, in fact, of saying you leave this chamber, I thought you would say, give us time now to debate what we can do even more with CDF as we wait for it to come. Because tomorrow the minister will be here. And when he comes here, neither Ichungwa nor Junet will be there to defend him. He will stand here to tell us that before the close of the financial year, every single shilling of CDF must be in the accounts of each constituency. Every single shilling of NGAF. The women rep for Laikipia has come here asking me, why aren't these men talking about NGAF? They are only obsessed with CDF. I have told her that I will be your defender as women MPs representing counties. That as we defend CDF, we shall also defend NGAF so that we move together. So let me now ask you members to cool down. Let's get to our business. And tomorrow come with your sharpest knives, your sharpest tongues, and your harshest language if you wish to talk to your former colleague, John Badi. So clerk, you can now call out the orders. No more on that.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Honorable members, have a short communication, a recognition of members who served in the Inter-Parliamentary Union IPU committees. Honorable members, the IPU order Honorable Chepkonga. Go and protest on the streets, not in the chamber. Honorable members, the Inter-Parliamentary IPU is the global organization of national parliaments established in 1889 by Frederick Passy of France and William Randa Kremer of the United Kingdom as a platform for parliamentary diplomacy and dialogue. Originally created to promote arbitration and peaceful resolution of conflicts, IPU has grown into a major body that works to promote democratic governance, advance gender equality and human rights, foster international cooperation among parliaments, and strengthen the role of parliaments in global governance. Honorable members, the current membership of the IPU is 182 member parliaments out of 193 countries in the world. The Union also has 15 associate members, mostly parliaments drawn from groups of nations such as the Arab Parliament, the European Parliament, and other parliamentary organizations in Africa and the Americas. Honorable members, the Parliament of Kenya joined the IPU in 1977, and since then, Kenya has participated actively in IPU assemblies and contributed to various IPU committees. In 2006, Kenya successfully hosted the 114th Assembly of the IPU in Nairobi. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the contributions of members of Parliament who have represented Kenya in the assemblies of IPU over the years, especially those who are holding leadership positions in various IPU committees and statutory bodies. The Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabona, CBS MP, who is also the Minority Whip, is the current Vice President of the IPU Committee on the Human Rights of Parliamentarians, and her term expires in October 2027. Additionally, during the 150th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, held from 5th to 9th April 2025 in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, the Honorable John Makali MP, member for Kandui, was elected to the high-level advisory group on countering terrorism and violent extremism for a period of 4 years. In the same breath, honorable members, allow me to also recognize the following members who held various positions in IPU committees but whose terms expired in March 2025. Honorable John Kiaria, CBS MP, President, Committee to Promote Respect for International Humanitarian Law, Naisula Lesuda MP, African Group Representative, Standing Committee on Sustainable Development, Honorable Rebecca Tonke MP, African Group Representative, Standing Committee on United Nations Affairs. Honorable members, we thank them for their service on behalf of the House. I wish to reiterate that the National Assembly, and indeed the Parliament of Kenya, is committed to strengthening parliamentary diplomacy through its affiliation and membership to various international parliamentary organizations. In this regard, members will be nominated from time to time to represent the National Assembly in this fora, and the honorable members so nominated are urged to fly the Kenyan flag high, fully participate in the meetings, and ensure that Kenya's position on international issues is well articulated. Thank you. Yes, Millie?
I have a point of order.
I've given to Millie first, Honorable Sunguli, then I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for that statement that you've given in relation to the IPU. Mr. Speaker, I just want to correct a little that I was actually, until early this year, the president of the Committee on the Human Rights of Parliamentarians. When I joined 2 years ago, I was immediately elected as a vice president of the committee, where I served for 1 year, and then I was elected as the president, where I served for 1 year. But because in that committee, because of the nature of the work of the committee, you are only allowed to serve 1 year. And so I did serve 1 year, and my term ended this year. And so we have a new president from Europe. Mr. Speaker, the IPU, which is actually a parliament or parliaments, I have served in the Pan-African Parliament before. And Mr. Speaker, the Pan-African Parliament is a parliament that deals with issues surrounding in relation to Africa. IPU deals with issues which are global and has all the nations that you've talked about. Mr. Speaker, the only thing that I would want to say, maybe I just want to request that I say two things. One, because the committee I sit on, I was elected in my individual capacity and not nominated by the Parliament of Kenya. This is the first time I'm actually serving in this parliament in IPU. And one of the things that I've observed, Mr. Speaker, that the other countries have been able to rise to the top because of consistency. I want to request that if we can have dedicated members the way we have in Pan-African Parliament, so that we can have members that are recognized even if they come another time for co-positions. In the last year, we supported the Speaker of Tanzania, who became the president, and now we have the president as the Speaker of Tanzania. But in Kenya, because we have members coming in and out, it becomes difficult. I'm not pushing this for myself, because I actually came under a different setup. But if we can encourage, I'm encouraging that the members who are there, if we can have them continuously recommended to attend, Mr. Speaker, it would actually help Kenya. And finally, Mr. Speaker, this I want to indicate for our members, because a lot of members are not aware of the Committee on Human Rights of Parliamentarians. The Committee on Human Rights of Parliamentarians is a committee that protects the rights of parliamentarians globally. Mr. Speaker, we deal with members of parliament who have been murdered. We deal with members of parliament who have gone through sexual violence. We deal with members of parliament who have gone through forced disappearance, and they are actual living members of parliament. And Mr. Speaker, I would just want to encourage our members, because most members don't know about this system, that you can actually utilize this. Mr. Speaker, we were very happy that this time round, one of the members of parliament that we really defended has become the Prime Minister of Senegal, Honorable Ousmane Sonko. And when we see things like that, it actually makes us very happy, because we defended him, we protected him, and we were a voice for him when he was being harassed. And Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I would want to encourage that in Kenya, we continue being open and democratic society, so that we don't find ourselves in a situation that I see other countries in the IPU. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sunguli, 1 minute.
Very brief, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was standing on a point of order because when you read the statement, you indicated that you wanted to acknowledge members of parliament of this house. I don't know whether your intention was to acknowledge those who are currently sitting or people who have actually served in the IPU. Because, Mr. Speaker, you know very well that the history is long. The most memorable one being the late Dr. Bonaya Godana, from whom I took over, and I represented Kenya in Windhoek, Namibia, in a very, very comprehensive meeting. So I don't know whether this is our...
Honorable Sunguli.
Yeah.
I represented Kenya in Santiago, Chile,
in
the year 2002. I didn't even mention myself.
So that's what I want to say, because this is a house
I mentioned the contemporary ones.
Yeah. So
but you are in the history books.
Because this is a book of this is a house of records.
Yes.
Please, Mr. Speaker, I want to implore on you to get a more researched statement, so that it covers the real history of this nation, and you acknowledge us because we are contemporary.
Yes. Carry 1 minute. We have to go on with other business.
Honorable Speaker, I must thank you. And I thank you because the team that you have sent to the IPU does not leave the country unprepared. Mr. Speaker, when we are out there, we do not speak our mind. We have to speak the Kenya position. And for us to totally understand the Kenya position, we have to be very well prepared from this parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you. Honorable Millie Odhiambo has been able to represent this country at the IPU at a very high level as the president of an all-important committee on the protection of the human rights of parliamentarians. Yours truly, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member for Dagoretti South constituency, has been able to serve 2 terms as the president of the Committee for the Respect and the Promotion of International Humanitarian Laws. Mr. Speaker, in this delegation that has just come from Tashkent, Uzbekistan, we had 2 new members, the Honorable Lotte and the Honorable Makali, who very ably represented our country, Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I would like to support what the Honorable Millie Odhiambo has said, that this parliament might want to seriously consider having a permanent delegation going to the IPU for institutional memory, so that this glowing representation by Kenya is supported. Finally, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sunkuli has been to the IPU, so has the Honorable Speaker himself. I want to say that I have had a good opportunity to represent Kenya in not less than 6 IPU meetings in the Parliament of Parliaments, where resolutions and conventions are even escalated to the UN and become laws that superintend over the entire world, Mr. Speaker. This opportunity given to other members, Mr. Speaker, will serve this country well as a representation. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the delegation is normally Senate-led, and Senate in Kenya has been having a consistent delegation. Can we also, as the National Assembly, have a constant delegation going to the IPU? Mr. Speaker, I truly thank you for the opportunity.
Makali. John Makali. Give him the mic. Are you malfunctioning? There's one next there, in front of you. Is it working?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this particular opportunity to also make my remarks as the newest member of the IPU. First, let me thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to make me part and parcel of the delegation that went to Tashkent. I must admit, Honorable Speaker, that it was the first opportunity for me to attend the IPU, and I must thank the leadership of the House for giving a first-time member that particular opportunity to go and represent this nation. Mr. Speaker, it was not very easy to get that particular position. It took the leadership of Honorable Millie Odhiambo. It took the leadership and the linkages of Honorable Kiaria Waweru and the negotiating skills of the Honorable Member from Kitutu Masaba, Honorable Cliff Gisaro, for us to be able to get that particular position. Kenya is still rated very, very highly internationally, Honorable Speaker, and several other issues were discussed. And we will, as indicated, keep the flag of Kenya flying very, very high. What I will urge, Honorable Speaker, is that we keeping opportunities to mostly faster members of parliament, because they can actually be able to deliver and also learn a few things that can be able to assist this House and the people of Kenya. Several issues came up, Honorable Speaker, on the issues of social development and justice. We needed to push the youth agenda. We need to push gender empowerment so that as we discuss the two-thirds gender rule, Honorable Speaker, we must be at the forefront as a nation. I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that as the representative of Kenya in the IPU, we will keep the Kenyan flag flying very high so that we keep our name high. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for giving me that particular opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Makali. Honorable members, we leave it there. Many members have served in IPU. Farah used to lead delegations. Sunguli was there. I was there. Many members have been there. But for the current team led by Millie Odhiambo, we say Kongole for giving our House good representation. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, Greenvale School from Keses was in Gishu. And in the public gallery, we have Pwani University from Kilifi, North Kilifi, and Bomet University from Chepalungu in Bomet. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Cases, I was not encouraging anybody, but I give you 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Please, and I appreciate that you can allow me to welcome my school of Greenville, the only school in Eldoret that has transformed the lives of young Kenyans in ensuring that they keep proper training and skills. I want to say welcome so much, and I'm happy to see them here very soon. I know they are going to join me in this particular flow, serving Kenyans like I'm serving. Thank you, and welcome so much.
Owen Bayer.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to welcome Pwani University, the university in my constituency and the first university in the Coast region. And I want to tell you, Honorable Speaker, I served there as a lecturer and as a registrar some time ago before I came to this university. So Pwani University, welcome. I know it's the maiden visit by this university to this House. And I think we owe them a foot thumb for them to welcome Pwani University.
Thank you.
To this House. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Owen. Next order. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Chair Budget, take your seat. Honorable members, I have a short communication. A message from the Senate, on approval of the mediated version of the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2023 by the Senate. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41-4, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Senate regarding the approval of the mediated version of the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2023. Honorable members, the message conveys that on Tuesday, 8th April 2025, the Senate considered and approved the mediated version of the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2023, in the form proposed by the Mediation Committee. You will recall that the bill was committed to a mediation committee pursuant to the provisions of Article 112(1)(b) of the Constitution, following the National Assembly's rejection of the Senate amendments to the bill. You will further recall, honorable members, that the House considered and approved the mediated version of the Conflict of Interest Bill 2023 on 5th December 2024. In this regard, honorable members, the approval of the mediated version of the bill by the Senate concludes its bicameral consideration. I will now proceed to present the bill to His Excellency the President for assent in accordance with the provisions of Article 113(3) of the Constitution. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
There is a petition, I think, by Honorable Wira, is it? Is Honorable Peter Mbogo in the House?
Yes.
You are to present a petition on behalf of Honorable Wira.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a petition regarding alleged acquisition of trust land, LR number 249 of 1963, by the government in Taita Taveta County. I, the undersigned, on behalf of Nyario Yakididi, Shabat Beta Culture Community in Taveta Constituency, Taita Taveta County, draw the attention of the House to the following: that the Nyario Yakididi Shabat Beta Culture Community is a registered and recognized community group from Taveta Constituency, registered under the Community Land Act and the Community Land Regulations. 2, that the community is dedicated to preserving and advancing the welfare and culture of the Taveta people, including the protection of natives' land rights as guaranteed under Article 63 of the Constitution and the Community Land Act. 3, that in 1963, the government of Kenya reserved a trust land reference number LR 249 of 1963 for natives, purposes of grazing and farming. 4, that the community occupied the trust land until sometime in 1982, when there was a severe drought that claimed human life and livestock, and as a result, the community left the area and relocated to the lowlands near River Lumi. 5, that the community continued using the said trust land as a traditional shrine for prayers and circumcision until sometime in 2022, when they were arrested and harassed by rangers from Kenya Wildlife Service on allegations of trespass. 6, that after negotiations between local political leaders and KWS, the arrested members of the community were released, but on firm instructions that they should not trespass on the trust land on grounds that the area is part of Tsavo West National Park and is a protected area. 7, that by the letter dated 17 August 2023, the community sought information from the Director for Land Administration on legal status of the trust land, and on the 18th August 2023, they were expressly informed that the land is still trust land. 8, that the community forwarded the aforesaid information from the said directors to the KWS and requested to be allowed to continue using the trust land as their shrines and grazing area. 9, that the KWS declined and insisted that the trust land is part of Tsavo West National Park and that it is a protected area. 10, that in the recent past, the KWS has started fencing the trust land completely, condoning it from the community, and all efforts to have the matter resolved has not been fruitful. 11, that the matter presented in this petition is not pending before any tribunal, court of law, or any constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, inquire the legal status of the land LR number 249 of 1963 and recommend for the settlement of the squatters within Taveta constituency, and 2, make any other recommendation that it may deem fit in addressing the plight of the petitioners. And your petitioners will ever pray. Presented by Hon. John Bwire Okano, MP, member for Taveta constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mbogo. We'll commit the... Yes, Mwashako?
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nasimama Mheshimiwa Spika kusema kwamba swala hili ni swala nyeti, ni swala nzito. Shirika la KWS Mheshimiwa Spika kwa miaka mingi limeendelea kuongeza mipaka yao, kuendelea kusukuma wananchi kule Taita Taveta, na mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, kando na hii sehemu moja ambayo Mheshimiwa Bwire ameleta hapa bungeni, ni sehemu nyingi Mheshimiwa Spika ambapo tuna utata wa mipaka na KWS Mheshimiwa Spika. So ombi langu kwako na ombi langu kwa kamati ambayo itafanya kazi hii ni kwamba kazi hii ifanyike kwa haraka ili mipaka ya KWS ionekane, na pale ambapo kuna utata KWS ama Savo ni ya watu wa Taita Taveta, iwe kwamba wananchi ama wa Taita Taveta wapewe nafasi ya kuchukua sehemu ambazo kwa wakati wa mababu zetu ilikuwa ni sehemu ya watu wetu. So Mheshimiwa Spika, swala hili ninakushukuru sana, maana ninajua mambo haya ya shamba na mambo ya mipaka ni mambo ambayo yanagusa mambo ya usalama. Mheshimiwa Spika, kule Taveta kuna shida, kule Voi Savo imekuja mpaka katikati ya town. Mheshimiwa Spika, Voi Savo inasema kwamba inafika karibu na town. Ukija kule Kishushe pande ya Undanyi, Savo mpaka sasa inasumbuana na mambo ya mipaka. Ukija sehemu ya Mwatate ambayo Mheshimiwa Mbogo anatoka, bado Savo inasukuma wananchi, inakataa mpaka fence isifanyike. Leo tunasumbuka sana na wanyama wa pori kwa sababu hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika. So nakushukuru na asante kwa kutupa hii nafasi, na mambo haya ni nyeti, yafanyike kwa haraka. Asante.
Asante sana. The petition is committed to the Public Petitions Committee and are obligated to bring a report within 60 days. Member for Chuka Igambangombe, Patrick Munene.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker Elias, to do this petition regarding recognition of the Chuka community as a tribe in the Republic of Kenya. I, the other side, on behalf of the Chuka community of Kenya in Tharaka Nithi County, drew the attention of the House to the following, Speaker. One, that the Constitution of Kenya in its preamble affirms the national pride in the ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity as the bedrock of unity of a sovereign nation. Two, that Article 44 of the Constitution recognizes that every person has the right to use the language and to participate in the cultural life of the person's choice, and a person belonging to a cultural or linguistic community has the right, with other members of that community, to enjoy the person's culture and use the person's language. Number three, that the Chuka community has a population of more than 117,000 people who are primarily located in Tharaka Nithi County, and owing to the historical, cultural, and economic aspects of the Chuka community, there is a need to formally recognize them as a distinct tribe in the Republic of Kenya. Number four, that the Chuka community traces their origin to the coastal region of Kenya, from where they migrated inland and eventually settled in the southern eastern slopes of Mount Kenya, and have a cultural and historical claim to the land known as Magodoma Chuka, which is now part of Mount Kenya National Park and Forest Reserve. Number five, that although the Chuka community has maintained governance structures, economic activities, and cultural practices that distinguish them from their neighbors, the Chuka community has not been recognized as a tribe in this country. Number six, that the members of the Chuka community have their own unique language that has unique phonetic characteristics that are substantially distinct from those of its neighboring tribes, including naming systems, circumcision rites that make it distinct from the neighboring tribes, unique and historical governance and leadership systems comprising of council of elders such as Kiamagyankome and Kiamakiamugongo, which have been and still are crucial in providing community leadership and direction and resolving conflicts involving the Chuka community. That, Mr. Speaker, the Chuka community plays a fundamental role in Kenyan socioeconomic growth and the enhancement of Kenya's economy primarily through agriculture and trade. That efforts to have their matters addressed by relevant authorities have been futile. And number nine, that the matter presented in this petition is not pending before any court of law or any constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioner pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, number one, inquire into the matter with a view of securing urgent recognition of Chuka community of Kenya as a tribe in the Republic of Kenya. Number two, make any recommendations or actions it deems fit in addressing the plight of the petitioner, and your petitioners will ever play. Presented by Honorable Patrick Munene. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
George Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for allowing me to comment and support this timely petition by the Honorable Patrick Munene Ntwega of Chuka Igamba Ng'ombe. As it has clearly been explained, there are many injustices that were done by the colonialists when they came to Kenya. One of them being to lump together ethnic communities and naming them as one tribe. As a result of which some communities actually almost lost their identity until they were recognized as separate and distinct from one another. One good example is our county, Tharaka Nithi, which has 4 distinct communities: the Tharaka, the Chuka, the Mwembe, and the Muthambi. And because of this, it becomes difficult, especially when the rest of the communities in Tharaka Nithi are simply termed as Meru. And the Meru is actually the larger county within the region. So time has come for the Chuka to actually be recognized as a distinct community in Tharaka Nithi, and the same is going to apply to the Muthambi and the Mwembe. So when the time comes, I will appear before the Public Petitions Committee to support this petition, shed more light on why this recognition is necessary. Also, plead for the case of the Muthambi and the Mwembe, which are also in my county of Tharaka Nithi. For Meru, we leave it as it is because it also has 3 distinct communities which are put together as Meru. But that being another county, it will be a story for another day. So I do support this, and I'll be appearing before the Public Petitions Committee to render credence to this petition by Honorable Munene. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I commit the petition to the Public Petitions Committee to respond within 60 days. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. Yes. Yes, Karemba, what is it? Karemba, what is it?
Sorry, Speaker, it is Honorable Murugara who had misled me that...
Why would Honorable Murugara mislead you? Honorable Murugara, are you in the business of
I have not, absolutely. How could I have been? I've said I've just commented on a petition. We haven't reached his statements. Then he says, I want to talk about a statement. I said, sorry. Then he says, I've misled him. I have not misled Honorable Karemba.
Go on, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. The 5th report of the Committee on Appointments on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. The following legal notices from the Ministry of Health. Legal notice number 76 of 2025 relating to the digital health information management procedures, regulations of 2025. 2, legal notice number 77 of 2025 relating to the digital health data exchange component, regulations 2025, and the following accompanying documents. A, the technical working group matrix on parliament resolutions. B, the explanatory memoranda. C, the regulatory impact statement. D, the consolidated written submissions matrices for the health information management procedures regulations 2025 and the data exchange component regulations of 2025. And E, the consolidated matrix on the general comments from the public participation exercise on these regulations. 2 is the reports of the Auditor General on the audited accounts for Chemelil Sugar Company for the financial year 2022-2023 from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development Office of the Cabinet Secretary. 3, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, and the certificates therein in respect of the following: Cardinal Otunga High School, Mosocho, Githurai Mixed Secondary School, Maimahio Boys Secondary School, and St. Thomas Aquinas Kalawa Boys Secondary. 4 is a report of the Auditor General and financial statements of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, for the financial year ended 30th June 2024, and the certificates therein in respect of the following constituencies: Aldai, Alego Usonga, Kabondo Kasipul, Keio South, Kilgoris, Mboni, Muhoroni, Ndiwa, North Imenti, Pokot South, Saboti, Suna East, and Turkana Central. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member Committee on Appointments, Majority Leader. You already did that. You started with that. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure.
Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Chair, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the approval hearing of Mr. Aden Abdi Miller for the appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation. Kiarie. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. Reports of the Development Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the approval hearing of one Dr. Caroline Wanjuru Karugu, nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for East African Community Affairs, and 4 nominees for appointment as Ambassador, Permanent Representative, and Consul General. I thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Education. Honorable Meli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I shall be laying the paper shortly.
Yes, Meli.
Yes, the report is just, I'll be bringing shortly, Mr. Speaker, not ready.
The Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development. Yes. Lokachapong. Go ahead, Honorable Lokachapong.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on the approval hearing of Mr. Michael Loikianu Lenasalon for the appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Thank you. Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. A report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025.
Go to the next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Donya, we have not reached statements yet. Chairperson, Committee on Appointments, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion: that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its 5th report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 152, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as Cabinet Secretaries. 1, the Honorable Geoffrey Kirenga Roko as a Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Programs. And 2, Mrs. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo as a Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Gender, Culture, the Arts, and Heritage. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for the appointment of as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 15(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Mr. Aden Abdi Miller as Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Communication, Information, that is stayed. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign. Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to give notice of the motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the World Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Caroline Wanjuru Karugu as Principal Secretary, State Department of East African Community Affairs. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have another notice of motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the World Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of 4 nominees for appointment as Ambassador, Permanent Representative, and Consul General.
Order. If you are giving a notice of motion, give a notice of motion. You don't just start reading a document. I beg to give notice of the following motion.
Thank you, Suka. I thought I did from the first one.
You said there are 2 different motions.
Okay, I am guided. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the World Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of 4 nominees for appointment as Ambassador, Permanent Representative, and Consul General laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 1322(e) of the Constitution, Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act Cap 185(e), and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as Permanent Representative, Ambassadors, and Consul General. 1, Engineer Peter Kibilaga Tum as Ambassador Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. 2, Mrs. Susan Nahominja Wafula, EGH, Permanent Representative to the Permanent Mission of Kenya to the UN Habitat Nairobi. Mr. James Buyakane Mohati, CBS, as Consul General to Guangzhou, People's Republic of China. And lastly, Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido as Consul General to Arusha, Tanzania. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Major Bashir. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Education. First, go back to order number 5 and lay the document on the table.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15th April 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Education on the approval hearing of Professor Abdulrazak Shaukat for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research, and Innovation. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Under order number 6, you can now give your notice of motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Education in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Professor Abdul Razak Shaukat as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation. I therefore move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development, Lokajapong.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15 April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of Mr. Michael Loikianu Lenasalon as Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, before we come back to order number 7, questions and statements, let's dispose of orders number 8, 9, and 10. We put questions while we enjoy this phenomenal quorum in the House. This is number 8. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, clerk, call out order number 8.
Order number 8, motion, report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, question to be put and third reading.
Order members on their feet, take your seats. Thank you. Honorable members will now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, be now read a third time, as I request the Honorable Betty Maina Eric to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to second and also to agree that I have adopted that name, Betty Eric. This bill will make the cost of electricity to go lower, and thus the people of Murang'a County, for example, Gatanga constituency, will be able to access power. I second, Mr. Speaker.
I order you to delete all those excess material from the Hansard. You freeze. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, be now read a third time. I put the question. Yes. Honorable members, I confirm we have quorum, and I now put the question, which is that the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025 be now read a third time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Excise Duty Act and for connected purposes. Order number 9, motion, report of the Committee of the Whole House on the consideration of the Senate amendments to the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2022. Question to be put.
Members on their feet, Commissioner Faith, take your seat. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 9, which is that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2022. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. To those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Order number 10, motion, consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government ministries, departments and agencies for the financial year 2021-2022. Question to be put.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 10, which is that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on its examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government ministries, departments, and agencies for the financial year 2021-22, laid on the table of the House on Friday, 14th March 2025. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Go back to order number 7.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Kale Bamisi. Kale Bamisi, member for Saboti.
Yes, Speaker Mia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I request for a statement regarding the remuneration of police reservists in Trans Nzoia County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the non-payment of dues owed to National Police Reservists in Trans Nzoia County. Honorable Speaker, Section 110, Subsection 3 of the National Police Service Act, Cap 84, provides that the National Police Service reserve officers may be deployed within the country to aid in enforcing all the relevant laws and regulations